blender where you can make a smoothie or juice, and then you can drink right out of it. See?
It doesn't come apart.
Hold on. Yeah, but if I unscrew it now, it may.
I'm talking about the bottom part.
Yeah, it come apart. I think this come apart. I ain't tried it yet. I just did this part. And then you charge it up under here, right here.
Mm. YouTube, welcome to episode 122 of The Heart of a Family. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Shout out to the Temu tariffs.
The what?
The Temu tariffs.
I got this before the tears.
Yeah, shout out to them so you can't buy no more.
Nope, sure can't. And it's good and handy on the go smoothie maker. Yep. I had bought some fruit to put in some frozen fruit to chop it up.
Since we're waiting to see just how much detail.
Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna be doing when I come home from working out. I'm gonna do that. Oh,
Is there a job right now? No way.
fix me a little smoothie
So they're not gonna be looking at
and sip on that.
putting bigger views.
How was your day?
It was good. I just got back from working out. I did Zumba. Can't find my charger, but did Zumba. It's 6:30 to 7:30, so I didn't do the cool down. I just came home so I could shower and get on the call. Get on the call. Yeah, what about you? My charger.
It was good. Uh, went to work, had training,
Uh-huh.
and then went to boxing.
Oh. Whew. Yeah. Look, what video you watch lining up? Why come I can't find my
Nothing.
charger? I must have left it over your grandma's. My charger. Can't find it. You said no video?
Uh-uh.
Uh-uh. I don't know where everybody is. They probably preparing for end of the year. Getting the
Uh,
kids.
you hear about that dude that killed the cop because he killed his son?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I did hear about that.
Somebody said that the kid didn't have a gun.
What the kid?
So I guess the kids are out, I guess, stealing cars or something. And then the police found the car and they ran. And then he was running in between dumpsters towards another officer, and the officer shot him because he said he had a gun. And then the father went and killed the cop or a cop, unalived the cop because of that. And now some witness says that the kid never had a gun.
And get these people back.
Hmm.
You don't know what you're gonna come across when you take these windows out. These were broken, like you're nervous.
I
You
muted it.
you not at
So
work?
they just so what they do, they just thought he had a gun or
Yeah, they said that he had a gun and they heard something hit the ground or something. They showed the whole press conference or something. They said they recovered a gun, but I don't know.
and that's just like that football player that ended up committing suicide, and they were saying, I guess, the one that was supposed to have went to court because of that car wreck or something. It was something that he wasn't even driving or something like that. I guess he was scared to go to, afraid of going to court and what was ahead of him. So now that father he's arrested, ain't he?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he killed a cop.
I didn't know if they caught him.
I have to figure out how to not get this copyrighted.
Right? Law enforcement admitted that chief said, that this metal object, which was the gun, they even circled the points where the metal object, they said, which they believe was the gun that they retrieved, struck the pavement, the concrete.
So yeah, this is the kid running from the cops, and then he runs into another officer, and then they said
there, right?
they heard metal hit the ground, and I guess this is the gun that they recovered with scratches on it. And I don't know. Look like to me it's only two scratch marks. How's the handle not scratched up or anything? How's this not scratched up?
And made those scratches that the law enforcement pointed out on that handgun.
So what are they saying? Just because he dropped a gun, that's how it got the scratches?
Yeah, they're saying he dropped the gun. I mean, when you kind of look at it like this, it's kind of hard to tell. It do look like something.
I mean, but how do they know the scratches happened from that? It could have been scratched.
I don't know.
Just because he dropped it don't mean. If he allegedly dropped it, don't mean the scratches came from that drop.
Let's see.
So that's confusing in itself.
So this lets us know that that handgun, fell on that pavement, on the concrete, to make those scratches, right? Those abrasions on that firearm. So how did the firearm end up in the grass when they showed the steel frame photo, right? They showed the steel frame photo of this so-called same weapon that was dropped, that the officers confessed that they heard was a metal object that they believed, right, was the gun. Now, according to the Most High, everything done in dark and in secrecy will be revealed. And the editing of that video, they did not show us the full video of the body camera footage during the actual shooting. They stopped the footage, right, and just played the audio. They paused it, right? And then we heard everything that was going on, but we never seen any movement, right? They played us like that. And then they put up that steel frame showing the young brother in this so-called bladed position with the firearm in front of him, pointed at the officer that was to his left, allegedly. But how is that a fact?
That is true.
Wow.
When
Because if it was in his right hand and you put your hand on the ground, the gun's facing the opposite way. And it looked like it was in his right hand.
the young brother, Ryan, had his head straight the whole time. He never even, when he came from between those dumpsters, it was two of them, right? Sat over here, sat over.
So that's him right there?
Yeah. What is this? Is he just running? What's that?
I don't know what this look like something. I don't know. That's clearly him between the dumpsters, though.
There. See, that's why I think the officer actually used to shoot young Ryan, because he used the fact that he couldn't see between those dumpsters and the guy had a gun as a perfect reason to say, well, my life was in danger. He had a gun, I couldn't see. I was standing over here. I thought he had it like this, the officer right here.
But you could see him before he see you.
Yeah.
But Ryan never looked towards the officer. And that's what the body camera does show. Ryan never even looked in that officer's direction to even know to point the gun in a bladed position, as they call it. Man, see, it's a cold game, man. It's a wicked, wicked game. And once you, look at the body camera footage very, very close, it shows you how evil and how diabolical, right? How grotesque,
He pulled the gun out
right? How
first.
filthy, right, of a soul these people have to just blatantly lie like that. I'm watching the body camera footage, and then they tell on themselves. Like I said, everything will be revealed, said the Most High. And every time I check on the story, this station, this news channel, that news channel, they
He's not looking at him.
Wow.
release
Did
a
he
bit
even
more
know the
clips
police
of
officer was there?
Yeah, that's why he ran.
Oh,
He did, I
okay.
don't think he knew this one over here was here, but he ran from the
Oh.
ones behind him.
Mm-hmm.
and it shows Ryan Hinton more and more running away from the cop.
Because if the gun is in his right hand, look where it's at. His hand is on the ground. It's not pointing at the officer.
Wow.
Then they, what's this big old blur spot? What's this big blur spot they have over Ryan?
And that is true. I was about to say that it's clear, then all of a sudden it gets
Like we
blurry.
don't actually see the barrel of the gun, pointed towards the officer that was over here to Ryan's left,
Why
that
is
they
it
say,
blurry?
that fired those shots at him. We don't actually see that barrel. So not only did they not play the full footage for the public in viewing, they panned away. The cameras panned away conveniently when it came time to actually see and view the actual shooting of the officer's view from that body cam footage on TV. They did this with Young Dolph as well. They panned up a little bit so you couldn't see Dolph right there at the window sill in the front. They kind of panned over to the right a little bit where you couldn't see it at all, right? Focus on the walls and everything else besides the actual homicide that we can see with our eyes, but that's not what they're doing here. And that's what, I believe the father seen. The father actually could have seen that that wasn't a bladed position where the son was pointing a firearm at the officer that was to his left that fired those fatal shots at Ryan Hinton. And I do believe, that is obviously the outcome because, if it was cut and dry, okay, when Ryan fell and they said that that firearm hit the ground, like I asked, how did it get in the grass if it was on the ground? Did it slide? When Ryan fell and stumbled, did the firearm that the officers allegedly heard slide all the way in the grass? Right? Then they say they had a...
Wait a minute.
How did it get in the grass?
But wait a minute. Look at it.
Asked, how did it get in the grass? When Ryan fell and they said that that firearm hit the ground, like I asked, how did it get in the grass if it was on the ground? Did it slide? When Ryan fell and stumbled, did the firearm...
Okay, look at this color. Look at the color.
that the officers allegedly heard
that like a brown?
slide all the way in the grass? Right? Then they
Is
That's
that
a-
white?
That's a different FDE.
say they had an extra magazine that went along with the gun that Ryan had. That was supposed to be in his,
Show me a better angle of the one in the grass.
right, his hoodie pocket. Okay? So, if this is in his hoodie pocket, this extra magazine that was also found in the grass, how did that get over there? Because he fell on the concrete pavement. So make that make sense, right? He gets out the car. He runs. There's a Kia Telluride. So they call them the Kia boys and all this and all that. One of the family members who spoke at the press conference of Ryan said that Ryan was never supposed to be in that stolen car, right? Was never supposed to be there that next morning, sleeping in a stolen car at all. No. He had a bed to sleep in. He had a room. He had a family. Why was Ryan out the night before, right? Allegedly with this gang, or did he get with the gang?
So this is the cop that's chasing him. This is the cop that on the
Oh, I
line.
see him. Yeah, I see his. He drone.
After they stole the vehicle. Because a lot of those guys got
Bro, that's two different guns.
receiving stolen, property charges. So we don't know if they, got the vehicle from somebody else who stole it, gave it to them or sold it. So we don't know if they, because a lot of those.
All right. So we have. What does this white look like to you?
Hold on. That look like a dark. Those are scratch. You can clearly see those scratches.
Those look like scratches.
Yeah.
And then we get this different color. It looks like a different color. Y'all can say the flash is on, but there's different shades of flat dark earth. This is a different shade than the one they used in the press conference.
Those guys got receiving stolen, property charges. So we don't know if they, got the vehicle from somebody else who stole it, gave it to them or sold it to them. But, more fact, nobody's opening up the doors.
I say, Ryan, I'm so sorry. God, please watch over the rest of my family. I want to address all the negativity and saying he was somebody in a stolen car, this and that. Listen, he was supposed to be at home that night and shit. Let me get this off. He had no business being on a stolen car, man. He had a bed to come home to. He slept in a car. He couldn't get in the house. All right. He called me like 6, 9 times, like 12, like 2012 and one. He called me trying to get in. Text me. And I was asleep. Ryan, I'm so sorry. This was never supposed to happen to you. Ever. I'm so sorry, Ryan. I'm so sorry, Ryan. Just know he wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't. He was scared. He tripped and fell. He must have been so scared. I'm so sorry, Ryan. Just like everybody just talking shit about him. Just know he wasn't supposed to be there, y'all.
Now, like I said, man, it's very unfortunate because when you
Wow.
really think about, what's being told to us and what's being presented to us, they're giving us a narrative, man. The boy fall on the pavement, on the concrete, trying to get away from the laws before he shot. Information, our witness came forward and gave a testimony, who allegedly was there, right, to witness what actually happened with Ryan Hinton being gunned down by those cops there, Cincinnati, Ohio. So let's get into that audio right now. Run it.
All they want to do is lie. And they covered up, getting on TV, they can lie, bro. And they covered this young man killing up. It was a wrongful killing. That's exactly what it was. Yes, he did drop the gun, but he did not have no gun by that trash can when that man killed him. As simple as that. Now I take a polygraph, whatever they want me to do, they lying on.
Okay, yeah, you can tell that because they slowed the video. They didn't show the whole video. They just showing you pictures.
Yeah, they showing process. Okay, when they all jumped out the car, sure, the police did come. Now, but they running this first one. When they say drop the gun, you can hear the gun drop. You can hear it.
All right.
What?
So this photo right here alone, I don't think he poses a threat. He's running away. His back is turned. If he does have a gun at this point, I don't think I could still justify it unless it's pointed at him. I don't see anything.
That's terrible.
And you can see the officer shot right here. That's why it's blurred.
What are you looking at? Because I just see green.
What do you mean you just see green?
I just see like trees.
You don't see a person?
Nope. No.
What about now?
No. Is he blended in with the trees?
You don't see this black figure right here?
Circle it. Oh, I needed to move my screen over. Hush. I'm on my Android. And that's a
Anyhow.
square. That ain't a circle.
Well,
Yeah, I
but
see it.
but this right
Wow.
here, it looked like the officer fired. Mm.
Yeah, that's
Dropped the gun in the
sad.
grass, you would not be able to hear it. He dropped the gun right there in the parking lot, man.
And they said it. They said he dropped the gun.
Tell you what they did when I say he dropped the gun. So I guess he's not trying to be aggressive. When he dropped the gun, he continued to proceed by the trash can and he leaned up on the trash can. Wasn't no point, no hand, wasn't no raising of a hand, raising of an arm with an Oscar think he got a gun. He ain't lying. He just killed that young man for no reason at all. That's what he did.
Wow.
That's exactly what he did.
Damn,
So
son.
I'm saying that the body cam they putting out, they only put moments of it. They're not putting the whole
Right.
thing out. If they put the whole thing out, you'll see that he dropped.
Now, unless this is the barrel, then I get it. But we can't tell if that's the barrel or is this a sticker
Sick,
on the
yeah.
trash can. Well, either way, you couldn't see the barrel because it's black. It's black.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And the rest of the handle and the frame is flat, dark earth. So this has to be a sticker. And this is his hand.
That's crazy.
Hold on, let me see.
The gun. They trying to make it seem like he dropped the gun.
And then he picked it up.
So they hear it, and then he pick it back up and ran behind the trash can. That's a fucking.
And they never said he picked it back up too. So
But and I'm telling you, the gun was right there. And then if you
Why would he do that? Why would he pick it up?
The gun was on the grass. They moved that gun. They had to move the gun just to make it justify. Just to try to put it in the grass.
Sticker. It's a sticker.
Mm.
Now think about this, but use common sense. If you throw a gun in the grass, you think all the police want to hear over license sirens, and you think they're gonna? I'm telling you, the gun hit the concrete in the parking lot, and that's when he left the gun. He continued to proceed behind the trash can, stood up against the trash can, and that's when they killed that boy. Right? That line, ain't no gun was with that boy when they shot him. And that's why I say if he had a second gun, he didn't have a second gun. They trying to say he had a magazine in his pocket. That ain't no gun. They lying on him, bro. They lying on him. They don't stand up for anything. They want to, okay, give me the polygraph, and let's
So
go.
according to an eyewitness that you just heard, allegedly Ryan Hinton did not know exactly what's going on. They used the simple fact that he had.
I need to see his body cam. Right here.
The other officer.
I need to see his body cam the whole time so I can see him drop the gun and run through the trash cans. I need to see his.
Wow.
Had the gun against him. Now, when the other officer yelled out that he had a gun, he got a gun, he got a gun, that was already a green light.
How did it get in the grass? I'm confused.
The only way they can make us convinced that he had a gun is release the whole body cam footage.
I wonder will they release it?
I need to see both officers start to finish. Release the footage.
I wonder will
Because
they
these
release the
dimwits, they want to circle the mag release button too. I don't see any scratches on this part. I see something along this, something right here.
Light for the other officer, the shooter, to kill Ryan Hinton. I don't even think he, had to see if it was a gun present on Ryan Hinton pointed at him. I just think that, the next day after Ryan Hinton was gunned down by Cincinnati PD, and up until the time that the family reviewed that body camera footage the very next day, because Cincinnati PD says they have a policy where they try to get the body camera footage out and be.
Oh, that dad talking shit to him.
Wow.
Footage the very next day, because Cincinnati PD says they have a policy where they try to get the body camera footage out and be
Oh, he
as
did say
transparent as
something to
possible
him.
as early
I think he said, somebody said he said it's forever up or something like that.
in the investigation as possible. And that was very quick that this body camera footage came out. And now, we're just wondering why we can't see the footage in its entirety.
Well, there is one obvious difference between Cincinnati's handling of these cases compared to other departments. Cincinnati releasing body cam video within a day of.
Why? Why did y'all skip it?
Cincinnati's handling of these cases compared to other departments. Cincinnati releasing body.
Watch how fast they skip over this. I need this title to go away. 9:30:24. That's the time mark.
Body cam video within a day of both.
Y'all not slick, bro. Y'all not slick, bro.
What is
Cincinnati's
that
handling of these
one?
cases compared to
Y'all
other
not slick,
departments.
bro.
Cincinnati releasing body.
Look at it. 9:30:25. Okay.
25. Yeah.
Now watch. They're gonna flip the camera 9:30:25 to this one. Watch.
Body cam video within a day.
Did I say 3024?
They flipped it to the other officer that's ahead of him.
Oh.
Of both incidents.
Now, I actually want to see on
Cincinnati releasing
Look.
body cam video.
How is he right here on 9:30:25? And then he's behind the trash cans. Okay. This guy isn't.
Within a day of both.
9:30:24. We're gonna assume another second. He's right here. You don't travel that fast.
Cincinnati's handling of these cases compared to other departments. Cincinnati releasing body cam.
Y'all think y'all slick.
But there is
I
one
caught
obvious difference between Cincinnati's handling of these cases compared to other departments. Cincinnati releasing.
9:30:24. Where is this officer's camera the whole time?
Wow.
Axon Body 4.
body cam video within a day of both incidents. Of these cases compared to other departments. Cincinnati releasing body cam.
So Axon Body 4 is supposed to be this officer's body cam. I need this title to go away. How do I move this thing? So 9/30/25 supposed to be this body camera right here. Axon Body 4.
Cam video within a day.
9/30/24. The same time frame, and he's somehow in front of the car, in front of the suspect.
In a different position.
Now, hold on. Let me
Between Cincinnati's handling of these cases compared to other departments. Cincinnati releasing body.
All right, hold on. What is this? Is this this officer's number, body cam, whatever?
Body cam, probably, or either the camera, the body cam number assigned to the police officer.
173K is this dude.
Body cam video within a day.
480Z.
It changed. It
480Z.
changed.
It changed.
Yep, it changed.
Slick, boy.
So that was 2 body cams, and they tried to put it in one. Put it as one body cam. So they took parts from both. That's what they did. They took parts for both body cams. And it should be 2 separate body cams, one per each police officer that was wearing the body cam.
What I'm thinking they're gonna come out now is say they saw he had a gun. This officer couldn't tell if he ran through the trash cans with the gun or not, but they heard it hit the concrete.
Of both incidents.
Now, I actually want to see on the video, right? You got 2 different angles. Officer 1, Officer 2. Officer 2 happens to be the shooter who shot Ryan Hinton. Officer 1.
Prime example. It lines up.
His body camera footage shows Ryan Hinton dropping the gun, shows the gun, the object, right? Hit the ground. And does his footage show Ryan dropping the gun, shows the gun, the object, right? Hit the ground.
There's this car in front of him. The officer 1. So how can he see a gun?
Shows Ryan Hinton dropping the gun, shows the gun, the object.
Because this officer is neck and neck with him.
Right? Hit the ground. And does his footage show Ryan Hinton reaching and grabbing and picking it back up? Does Officer 2 body camera show that? Because everything was moving so fast. Remember, they said 6 seconds. This is what the chief.
I just don't like how it's clear for a second, then it gets
body camera show that.
And then it gets grainy.
Everything was moving so fast. Remember, they said 6 seconds. This is what the chief of DG said. Happened in 6 seconds. As soon as the officer jumped up out the squad car, time was ticking. 6 seconds till the death began of Ryan Hinton. Wowzers. Yikes. That's why the family of Ryan has a private investigating agency looking into the matter. That's right. They're investigating the investigators. Yes, that's right. So it looks as if they're serious. And this is probably, what, the law enforcement officials there in their county don't like, obviously. This agency, right, this private investigation firm.
Wow.
Ryan Hinton and the father, which acted out the next day and played out in the public as well with him retaliating on an unknown officer that had nothing to do with the situation of his son being murdered by the Cincinnati PD.
That ain't gonna get out.
The father just felt like, hey, well, since y'all in the same gang, because like they say, the police is the biggest gang in America. So the father felt like, look, I'm gonna take one of yours. You took mine. Whether I can get to the guy who actually, did this to my son or not. See, had he tracked that guy down, the actual officer, because I'm thinking that with the father, Rodney Hinton Jr., seeing this body camera footage, that he's seeing the officer's face, obviously. Unless they blurred it out before they showed the family. They could have did that, I don't know. But had he seen his face, I was thinking that he seen his face, did a little research, and found out who the actual officer was, that killed his son, and who he had his grudge against, and he went to go fulfill, the urge to act. That's right, you guys. He don't run with a gun. What if he had a license to have that gun? What if he had a permit to have that gun?
after that shooting. A police lieutenant tells me that is standard protocol put into place by Police Chief Teresa Fiji herself.
I have nothing to hide. I will share whatever I can share throughout
Even if
the
it's not
process.
favorable for the police, you will share.
Yeah, I will always share what information, what factual information I have.
3 investigations are simultaneously underway, one by the homicide unit, one internally, and one by the Citizens Complaint Authority. The city is relying on its collaborative agreement, a document that's become a national model for community police relations, born out of the civil unrest in 2001 when an officer shot and killed Timothy Thomas.
My ask is for them to be patient and show why we are the gold standard of police community relations.
In a statement, Mayor Aftab Piraval said in part the collaborative agreement was built for our most challenging time. He said transparency and accountability are being put front and center in this process.
Now, will we see this witness actually go forward with the information that they have that was given to our dear brother over at Taylor House Publishing? Salute again, brother, for that information. With this Urban News.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy situation.
Yeah, now the dad is gonna go to prison.
Even if he pleaded insanity, I don't think he's gonna get out.
No. No. That's crazy. I wonder, what did they charge him with? First degree or what?
I don't know. Yeah, first degree.
Wow.
And the Diddy trial is supposed to start next week.
Yeah, they doing a jury selection now.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder how that's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if you think we're gonna have to cover that.
I mean, we won't know. Ain't no, because it's a federal case, so ain't no cameras gonna be allowed.
No, but there some of the reporters that's allowed in the hearing, they'll give like reports on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's crazy.
If he's guilty, I think he might get 20-some years.
Who did he?
Yeah.
He gonna probably get more than that, because what did R. Kelly get?
Mm-hmm.
I think R. Kelly got more than 20. And Diddy got more involved than what R. Kelly got caught up in.
I don't know. Diddy a billionaire though, so we're gonna see if his money help him.
He ain't getting out of this.
Oh, he
That
ain't getting
money,
out, but he gonna
that
do some
money ain't
time.
gonna help him. He in the system now.
He gonna get
That
some
ain't gonna
time.
that ain't
Unless
gonna
his
help him.
lawyers are absolutely amazing and a miracle.
I wonder if he'll end up. I wonder what they offer him, another plea deal.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Because supposedly they did, but he rejected it.
It was probably a terrible plea deal.
And I don't know what the detail. They never released the details.
They probably dropped some of the they said plead guilty to whatever, but the main charges, mm-mm. He ain't gonna plead guilty to them.
Mm.
They got him on a RICO.
Yep. Yep. That's crazy. Well, that'll be starting soon.
Mm-hmm.
The trial, I mean, once the jury is selected, then, I mean, it's going the court date to kick in. They just got to get through the
It's
jury
so
process.
hard to find a non-biased jury. Like, who don't know P. Diddy?
I don't think it's going to be so much of that now. It's going to have to be, because any and everybody, whether they listen to his music or not, then heard about him, but they're going to have to be able to separate it and actually be able to listen to the evidence and
Yeah, I want to see what kind of evidence they got on him.
go
Hardcore evidence.
in and not like and be able to sit through the trial before they make a decision. That's what they're gonna have to do. Because any and everybody, people in different countries didn't heard about him.
Uh-huh.
So that's what it's gonna come down to, if they're gonna be able to actually not judge them until all the evidence and the court proceedings is wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, yeah, we got a minute left. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. Condolences to the Hinton family. Cleveland or Cincinnati, release the whole footage.
Yep.
Because
The
law
body
enforcement,
cam.
y'all been looking shady lately. We need transparency.
Yep. Release the whole
Do
footage.
justice, release the whole footage so it can make y'all seem less shady.
Yep. I'm sure that's what the family is fighting for too.
And don't blur anything out either when you release it.
Yep.
Y'all can blur out but tell that we want to see everything. But yeah, like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow. One family.
Endless connection.